Hey my friends, I know this isn't a normal time or anything, and I was just going to record this, but I thought, I'll throw it up here. Maybe you're here with me, and you can watch me as I go through this process. More fanciful cards using that same card template. We're even using the same paper, but our cards are going to look really different. So come on down here with me. The card that this is the one that we started out with, beginning of this week. Looks like so, all right? So we're using that same format. We did it again with a different colored truck, and then we did it with that same berry paper, but different colors. So I wanted to share today, we're still using that same template, and if you happen to be stopping by, let me know. If not, hey, Mary Lou. All right, so here's the dimensions and the cutting guide that you're going to need. Let's move you guys over. You're going to start with your card base. I'm going to cut some, but I have this one cut already. 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to cut it down to 5.5. I'm then going to score it at 1 1/4 and 4 1/4, right down the middle. All right, so there's that. That's my card base. Then I need 2 1 by 5 1/4 and 2 2 3/4 by 5 1/4 and 1 white to stamp on in the middle. It's the one that goes, that's where the white goes, right in the middle there, so that you can use a different color background. Now if you were using a white background, you could add the piece of white to it, see that? Or not bother. This one's a little, you have to get brave and just kind of go ahead and stamp. All right, so what do? These are already cut, but I want to show you another one where I'm going to cut my own. So we're going to start with our 8.5 by 11, and we are going to cut it at 5.5 on the long side, the 11 side, right? All right, so that's going to give me 2 cards. I'm also going to do some cherry cobbler. So let me cut that one too. 5.5. This was going to just be me and Christmas music, but I decided to bring you on in because I might get lonely. All right, so there's my card base. I can score those babies while we're doing it. So let's look at our directions. It says score at 1 1/4 and 4 1/4. These little Post-it notes are great because you can just move them around to whatever you're cutting on. So write those directions. Instead of having like a written tutorial and then you have to catch up with where did you just leave off, just having these cute little Post-its, and if you need it in order, 1, 2, 3, and then you got it. All right, so I'm going to score at 1 1/4 and 4 1/4. So 1 1/4, and I love this trimmer. This is the Stampin' Up trimmer because it's got a cutting and a scoring blade all in one. So score, and then 4 1/4. So I'm going to slide you over to 4 1/4. Make sure you're nice and straight. And that is your other card base. Let me do this so that you can see it. All right, so there's my card base, ready to go. There's 2. Let's do a white one. And I'll save those others for later. So 1 1/4. What I kind of like, if you need to make more than one card, is to do a couple of these, because while you're at it, you'll remember those sizes, the scoring lines, because you just did it. So you can kind of sort of mass produce what you're doing. I don't like to make tons of the same, but these cards aren't going to be the same. All right, so there's 2 bases. Let me get my Misty Moonlight over here too. I'm not sure that's its right name after I said that. It might be. Okay, so now I have 3. Why did I pick those colors? Because I'm still using the Berry Christmas Designer Series paper, and when you look on the paper, it will tell you what the colors are that it likes, so that you know how to find the coordinating cardstock. If I'm handy, I can grab it. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Of course I don't. I these in here, I do save the little papers, but I've moved this one around so many times, I don't know what I did with it. Anywho. So now I'm going to do this one. This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Remember I told you when I prep my 12 by 12 paper, I cut them all into 4 by 5 1/4. And I know I'm throwing you a ton of measurements. I'll link below this, I'll link where I set up this cutting guide. I cut all my paper into these handy dandy little pieces, and then I have it when I'm ready. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. I need 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So my length is right already. All right. This pattern paper is kind of cool. I got to look and see, well, what am I going to cut off? I'm going to cut my one over here, my 1 inch over here, right? And leave my 2 3/4 on this part so I get the most of the bears. So I'm going to line you up. If you're brave, I'm going to cut 2 pieces at the same time. Hold on, this could be a really big mistake, but let's give it a try. And I'm going to cut 1 inch. All right, so I got kind of a tree. Doesn't really look like much. We'll see how that looks, but I could also flip it over and use that side if I like it better. And then double check, I have 2 3/4 is what I need of this. I don't want to cut the baby. I'm going to flip it and go this way and cut my 1/4 of an inch right here. You don't have to mess with all this, except I'm liking this designer series paper pattern and I'm trying to work with it. I like the polar bears. This set came with a cute little punch. I didn't get it. It was sold out when I came back to Stampin' Up. So I could go ahead and cut all of my others, but let's just put this one together before we get too carried away. And I'm going to use the blue for this one. So how this goes together is this goes here, right, on the front. Now remember, I have this cute little background that I kind of like too. So I think I'm going to use the 1 inch part. I'm going to use that cute tree background on it. And you just line this up so that your spacing is the same between the top and the sides. Right? All good. And then this one, I could do you, which I kind of like. It kind of goes with that. Or I could flip it over and do this. I'm going to go with this way. You could do you. I'm going to do that one. All right. Open you up. And then this piece is going to go here. So this card is cool whether it's open or closed. All the same directions. We've been doing the same design all week long. But yet, because we use different paper, each one looks different. I'm going to grab you out of this collection so we don't have to take you over and cut another one. I'm going to go right here with that and right here with this. Right? All right, let's put you down so we get you where we want you. And now I'm going to just show you something I want you to pay attention to. It's not critical, but when you close this down, if you put this too close, it's going to show and it's going to look kind of funky. So make sure that you keep this white piece over here a little. The reason for this white piece is so that you have something to stamp on that will show through. I could use my embossing and do some embossing on this dark, which is really pretty. Or I can just go with my white. For today, we're just going to go with the white. Again, this is the 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And we just pop that right down there. And there's our card ready to go. So now what do we put in the front? This is where you can do your own thing. You need something on the front here. I kind of like this with the bears and the trees. I wish I did have the punch, but I don't. So I am going to take this piece and I'm going to do some fussy cutting of this sweet little baby bear, but I don't really want a fussy cut. So wait, we're gonna try something. We are gonna take this circle die that I told you about from the Stylish Shapes the other day, and let's see which one fits our bear. That one does. See it? All right, well, let's get organized here. We are going to take my new mini embosser. Isn't it cute? Yep. And I'm going to grab all my plates. And the beauty of this embosser is there's a direction sheet, but you know, we don't need that. We need these, and it tells us exactly what we're doing. So this is for thin dies. This one is embossing folders, and this one is thick embossing folders. So I don't need 3 and 4 because I'm not embossing, I'm cutting. I need 2, 1, 2, right? So I'm going to put my, and I have to trim this down a little because it's too wide for these plates, but I love how easy it is to work with. So let me just trim off a little here. And I'm going to put you right here. And then I want this right there. Come on, don't wiggle. Now, if it wiggles around in you and you're worried, again, your Post-it notes come in super handy. Grab your Post-it note. Put this where you want it. Stick it down with a Post-it note, just like that. And then run this through. Open up your little wings. Put that in. And crank away. Sorry, it makes my table a little wiggly. Now, this is going to be unique for each person because not everybody's going to have this piece of Designer Series paper cut like I do. We've got that cute little bear, right? So now he's going to go on the front of my card. He's going to go down here sleeping, and I'm going to line him up with the bottom right there. That just happened to work out the way I wanted it. And he looks so cute there. And then I'm just going to tuck this, lay down, right? So there's the front of that card. Super simple. Letting the Designer Series paper take the stage. And now I'm ready to stamp on the inside. I've been using the Brightest Glow because I really like the sentiments. And I think Merry Christmas is going to go. Merry Christmas is going to go right there. And I'm going to use my tuxedo. Where are you? I've been sticking with black. It's just super simple. And Merry Christmas is going right there. And our card is done. I can add bling if I wanted, but I don't have to. The Designer Series paper just steps it up a lot. So there's that one. I want to show you a couple of the others using the same idea. This one, I'm going to go with this bear. And I'm going to pick up the red in the scarf in the packaging. But instead, I don't want the bear everywhere. I'm going to go with this one, which was the back of the sleeping little polar bear. And I'm going to put that one together with these. And then my other option is this is more of the same cool paper. And I kind of like that same bear, with the snowflakes. So I'm going to mix and match and do those. And then we remember the one I had first was this one. Let's put this one together. This is footprints, which is kind of cute. I like that. And I save these Post-its and I use them every time because they help me stay on track so I don't forget what are the sizes I'm working with. So I'm going to go with, this is the other side of the snowflake, or the footprints, I'm sorry. Snowflakes. And this time, because I'm on the white, I'm not going to worry about that little piece on the inside. That extra stamping one, I'm going to be brave and just kind of go right on the card. And I kind of think this blue, which was part of a package that's left over, I'm going to tuck that under because it just kind of doesn't do a thing for me. This would have looked cool on the darker paper too. But, you know, look good. And instead of having that go down flat, I'm going to tuck under a dimensional. So again, same design, same papers, same cuts, same sizes, and all these cards look totally different. Well, not totally different, but they definitely look different. That one. You could put the card this way if you wanted. You could turn it and go sideways. If you had a gift card, you could attach this here and tuck your gift card down in here. That would look kind of cool. Just a different way to use this card completely. Again, that same design though. I am going to go with snowflakes inside and leave just the footprints out here. There we go. And snowflakes over here. Now, I do like my gift card idea, but not for this one. So we're going to go this way. And now I have to put something on the front. Well, I used this last night and I really like it. This is the snowflake punch. Can you see that? It's kind of hard. There's a glare to it. There's a snowflake punch. That needs a 2-inch strip. I am going to use white though. I thought about this one for a second, but no, we're going to stick with our white. So I need, sorry, just made a big loud noise over here. I need a 2-inch strip. Golly, I've made 2 cards and already I've made a mess here. Out of a scrap. And that's so that it will fit in the punch. Slide that inside. Make sure it's even. And now I have this super cool snowflake punch that's going to tuck right in there. Right? And now I'm ready to stamp the inside of my card and stamp my to and from right here. If I don't want the whole thing, like I don't want to cover up that package, I just want you like there, let's shorten you down a little. We only have, how much do we have here? We have 2 3/4. So I'm going to make this 2 1/2. And now this can tuck right here and not cover up that sweet little package. Yeah, it's hard to see for you. It's right there. Okay? All right, so a couple more cards, all using the same design. And we have this one to do next. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you all soon. Bye. Bye, Mary Lou.